Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome back to the LWN Network. I'm Tammy Nation, your host of Headline Hits here every day, Monday through Thursday, noon Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys, all across the platforms, YouTube, Rumble, and X. I sure do appreciate it each and every time you join me. Remember, if you can, please like, share, and subscribe to the channels. It helps us push that out, as you guys well know, with the YouTube and internet world and X, and as well as Rumble. So thanks again for joining me. It's been a wonderful, busy week as far as news goes. And when I say wonderful, I mean what President Trump is doing in the Middle East. It's been so successful and continues to be. And we are going to cover that as well when we head into Headline Hits. As far as any more shows, I know you guys like to know if there's shows or not, obviously, so you can tune in. But when I know for sure there's going to be a show, I always announce it on Headline Hits. Sometimes we do pop-up shows if there's time allotting and people aren't working and stuff like that. As far as any more shows this weekend, I'm not so sure there's going to be any more. It might not be any until I come back on Monday with Headline Hits. That I haven't heard anything. So I do know that LW has a lot he has going on this weekend to take care of, business-wise, family-wise, and such. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a Wolfpack Sunday or not. Other than that, like I said, this is the last one for the week for me. It's been a busy week, and we are going to go ahead and get right into the headlines right after this. First up, as I stated about President Trump's tour through the Middle East, making deals all across the Middle East, making manufacturing in America and innovation great again. So yesterday, the president was in Qatar. He signed an agreement with Qatar to generate an economic exchange worth at least $1.2 trillion. Big deals there. President Trump also announced economic deals totaling more than $243.5 billion between the United States and Qatar, including a historic sale of Boeing aircraft and GE aerospace engines at Qatar Airways. Now, the landmark deals celebrated will drive innovation and prosperity for generations to come, bolster American manufacturing and technological leadership, and put America on the path to the new golden age. Since President Trump took office, his commitment to the American manufacturing and innovation has attracted trillions of dollars in investments and global commercial deals. Allies like Qatar are partnering in the United States' success, and that's always a good thing. The following represent just a few of the many groundbreaking deals that he secured in Qatar. I thought it was important to show you guys in case you didn't see them yet. But Boeing and GE Aerospace did secure a landmark order from Qatar Airways, a $96 billion agreement to acquire up to 210 American-made, you guys, Boeing 787 Dreamliners and 777X aircraft powered by GE Aerospace engines. This is Boeing's largest ever wide-body order and largest ever 787 order. This historic agreement will support 154,000 United States jobs annually, totaling over 1 million jobs in the United States during the course of production and delivery of this deal. McDermott has a strong partnership with Qatar Energy in advancing critical energy infrastructure with 7 active projects worth $8.5 billion. As the sole provider of offshore components for Qatar's major LNG expansion, McDermott's work directly supports thousands of U.S. energy sector jobs. Parsons has successfully won 30 projects worth up to $97 billion. These high-value engagements have fueled significant company growth, supporting thousands of jobs across the United States and reinforcing American leadership in cutting-edge engineering and innovation. Then Quantum finalized a joint venture agreement with Al Rabin Capital, a prominent Qatar company. Qatar will invest up to $1 billion in state-of-the-art quantum technologies and workforce development provided by the joint venture, supporting U.S. and Qatar jobs and leadership in this critical emerging technology. So these signings mark President Trump's intent to accelerate Qatar's defense investment in the U.S., Qatar security partnerships as well, enhancing regional deterrence and benefiting the U.S. industrial base. These defense deals secured a look into Qatar's procurement of the state-of-the-art military equipment from two leading U.S. defense companies. Raytheon and RTX Business secured $1 billion in agreement for Qatar's acquisition of counter-drone capabilities signed by the U.S. and Qatari governments. This deal establishes Qatar as the first international customer for Raytheon's fixed-site, low, slow, small, and unmanned aerial system integrated defeat systems designed to counter unmanned aircraft. The deal directly supports high-skilled manufacturing and engineering jobs in the United States and reinforces America's leadership in innovative defense technologies. Then we have General Atomics secured nearly $2 billion in agreements for Qatari's acquisition of the MQ-9B remotely piloted aircraft system signed by the U.S. and Qatari governments. This deal will strengthen U.S.-Qatari bilateral relationship and provide Qatari armed forces with the most advanced multi-mission remotely piloted aircraft in the world, powered by U.S. products made in the USA. So the United States and Qatar also signed a statement of intent to further strengthen our security partnership, outlining over $38 billion in potential investments, including support for burden sharing at AIUDEID Air Base and future defense capabilities related to air defense and maritime security. Now, these new agreements and instruments aim to drive the growth of the U.S.-Qatari bilateral commercial relationship, created thousands of well-paying jobs, and opened new trade and investment opportunities for both countries over the coming decade and beyond. So all these deals, the reason I read them to you, are very important. So when some are saying over there, Trump's just having a good time and being egotistical over there and not really accomplishing much, to know the details that he has done and accomplished over there, I think is obviously very important, because knowledge is power. And these deals are big deals for us. And like I said, it talks about making jobs and investment opportunities for both countries over the coming decade or so and beyond. And that's incredible movement, incredible prosperity for both countries. So Emir of Qatar publicly, while sitting next to President Trump, did state this. It was wonderful to see him say this. He said, President Trump is the first American president to officially visit Qatar, and they were very gracious and honored for his visit. So for him to say that, I thought it was very important to note. Also today, the president has arrived in United Arab Emirates, and it's in Abu Dhabi, and it's his final Middle East stop, actually. He's going to travel home on Monday, but he's going to the Palace of the Nation to participate in state greeting, drinking ceremonies of tea, and having a meeting with the UAE officials, followed by a dinner. We're going to see what this meeting brings into fruition for everyone. If it's any indication what he's accomplished the first 2 days already in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, this in Abu Dhabi seems to be going to be a wonderful thing, bringing more of billions and trillions of dollars of deals into the United States for prosperity, jobs, and everything. So I think this Middle East tour has been a success. Like I said, he's going to come home on Friday, and it has been very fascinating to look at the ceremonies and the greetings that they've had with our President Trump. All the different varieties of their cultures and how they celebrate in these palaces. And it was just amazing to see. It's been very fascinating and interesting. Next up, we have RFK Jr. appeared on Fox News and alluded to Obama and Fauci starting the COVID-19 pandemic, as we call it, because of these reasons. In 1969, a gain of function was banned by President Nixon. And I don't know if you've heard about that or not, but way back in 1969, the gain of function was banned. 2001, Anthony Fauci essentially restarted the bioweapons arm race, and he did it under the pretension of developing vaccines. Then come 2014, 3 of Fauci's bugs escaped. they say, escaped. The U.S. lab's 300 plus scientists wrote Obama asking him to shut Anthony Fauci down. But what Obama did instead of shutting him down was he moved his experiments offshore, mainly to, guess where? The Wuhan lab. And then what happened? The worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on video and promoting this and talking about this in frustration. I think it was yesterday. You can look up the video and see R.F. Kennedy Jr. talking about himself, how this timeline has talked about from 1969 to 2020, what happened with COVID-19. And it's very disturbing, actually. It's very disturbing. So as we continue on for today, we have another story, and this time is about a judge. This judge has been indicted for helping an illegal escape. Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan faces several years in jail after being indicted by a grand jury for helping an illegal alien escape from ICE officials. Now, we've heard stories about this over and over with these judges, and this is another one. It's not the same ones we're talking about here, guys. These are over and over, these judges doing what they are doing, which is convicted of, or well, accused of and indicted for harboring these illegals that we are supposed to be deporting through ICE, hiding them from ICE, keeping them in their homes, sneaking them out of their courtrooms, doing courtroom proceedings. But in a 2-page indictment, Dugan was accused of obstructing a U.S. agency and concealing Eduardo Ruiz, an illegal immigrant, in order to prevent his arrest, according to the Milwaukee Journal-Centennial. Dugan's defense team revealed that she would enter a plea after her hearing today. Now, it's today, May 15th. That's when her hearing is. That's when she's going to enter her plea. And then the 2 charges carry a maximum penalty of 6 years in prison, as well as a $350,000 fine. If you ask me, I think it should be higher. Anybody that is harboring illegals against our own country, against our own people, trying to make this country safe and putting it out there, and they're hiding them, that it should be a lot more than that. Now, next up, we do have the Diddy trial, and I don't know. I've been looking at this and watching this, and it's been very stomach-turning and vile, and it's just got underway. So the findings and confessions are just awful. There's been plenty of detail regarding the physical and sexual abuses that have taken place and the drugs involved at these so-called freak-off parties. So basically, I'm going to cover some of it, but in mild form, not in the gory detail. And this is what I have for you. Cassie Ventura confirmed, who is a witness in Diddy's ex, that we saw brutally abused in the hotel with Diddy on the hotel's camera. They've released that full unedited video of him beating her, and it's horrible. But this is what I found surprising. And while there have been stories we heard today firsthand from Cassie regarding the Trump hotel shooter, and another witness and self-proclaimed Diddy sex slave claims Diddy, Hillary Clinton, and Obama are part of a satanic cabal trying to unalive Trump, and he was one of Diddy's sex workers. In court yesterday, Cassie Ventura identified Jonathan Odie. Now, that name has been thrown around the internet since yesterday, but Jonathan Odie is one of the sex workers who she said she was forced to engage in different activities during these parties. In 2018, Odie also went to Trump Doral in Miami with an American flag and a gun with the intention to shoot a chandelier as a warning to President Trump that Diddy, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama were part of a cabal trying to unalive him. Odie claims he learned a lot about Diddy and the cabal's sinister plans since he spent so much time as a sex slave at Diddy parties and overheard many conversations. This was reported in detail on X through Liz Cronkin's X page. So if you want to hear all the details that I'm not comfortable saying here, go to Liz Cronkin's page. Plus, it's all over the internet as well, on all the different social medias, because the court case isn't being televised, as you're well aware of. But they also further claimed he was part of a Black Illuminati group that engages in pedophilia, animal abuse, satanic rituals, and CIA mind control. So Diddy's a part of this, he said. He also mentions satanic rituals, which are conducted at the Bohemian Grove, which we've heard and seen stories about. We've seen videos out there on the internet with Bohemian Grove. And that Audi insisted in 2018 that the cabal has an agenda to unalive Trump and that an assassination attempt was coming. Last week, the Daily Mail confirmed that Diddy signed an NDA with Odie for $5 million in exchange for his silence. Cassie has been testifying, talking about the abuses she incurred sexually, physically, emotionally, again, with Diddy taking it out on her. Talking about never wanting to make him mad because he would get violent and the things would get out of control. And this story, basically, you guys, is what I'm telling you, is only going to get worse as we have more witness testimony, more details come out. It's pretty graphic. And we know about these parties. We've heard about these parties. We assume things. But what is actually being reported is so stomach-turning and disturbing. It's like no normal person could even think of some of these things that were done to Cassie and or these other people at these parties that were hired to be there. These freak-off parties, it's so much disturbing stuff that I can't even give it in detail. I'm not comfortable saying it. But the point is, at least there's some facts coming out. We're hoping that people are going to face the penalties of their actions. What really got to me was seeing Diddy's children from Kim Porter, who is no longer alive, and his girls in the courtroom, coming out of the courtroom. They were in the courtroom that day, just realizing that his children are being exposed to this and what they must thinking. Then yesterday, I think it was, his boys were there, and they filmed them walking out of the courtroom as well. As a child, can you imagine sitting there knowing that your father has done these things? It brings up question about what actually happened to Kim Porter, these girls' mother as well. So there's nothing good. It's all awful things that are coming out, but these victims deserve justice, and we need to get to the bottom of it. As uncomfortable and ugly as it is, like I said, it's only going to get worse because we have not even got to the minors and underage people that were involved and drugged and abused at these parties. So like I said, it's just going to get worse. We have to just, like I said, pray that everybody gets justice served to the things that happened to them that weren't voluntary, and that we get through this quickly. And next up, we have the last one of the day is about Hillary. So Hillary Clinton spoke out and up yesterday about criticizing President Trump over his decision to accept that Boeing 747 as a gift from the royal family of Qatar. There's been so much about this gift of this Boeing 747. But the jet is actually a gift to the Department of Defense. And earlier this week, Trump called Qatar's offer a great gesture. We talked about it earlier in the week as well. And the president said, "I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But it was, I thought, a great gesture." So Hillary Clinton came out and lashed out at President Trump and suggested he is engaging in quid pro quo. And it's a transaction that he shouldn't be engaging in. No one gives someone a $400 million jet for free without expecting anything in return, Hillary said. She said, be serious. But let's remind ourselves of something. Excuse me. Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation took millions of dollars from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, and other Middle Eastern countries in exchange for access to the U.S. government. Clinton engaged in massive influence peddling scheme while she was the head of the Department of State and used private server to evade FOIA. In fact, the Clinton Foundation whistleblowers, Lawrence Doyle of DM Income Advisors and John Monahan of JFM Associates, argued that according to their research, the Clinton Foundation was operating outside of its bounds as a 501c3 nonprofit organization and instead operated exactly like the Global Fund in Geneva, Switzerland, by brokering money and pharmaceuticals. Mr. Monahan also stated that 60% of the donations going to the Clinton Foundation were used for administration fees, administration fees, which is a stark difference from the industry norm of 10 to 15% for administration fees. And who could forget the Uranium One scandal involving the Clinton Foundation? Then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton influenced the Obama administration's decision on the purchase of Uranium One. Prior to the Obama administration approving the very controversial deal in 2010, giving Russia 20% of America's uranium, the FBI had evidence that the Russian nuclear industry officials were involved in bribery, kickbacks, extortion, and money laundering in order to benefit Vladimir Putin. 9 shareholders and Uranium One just happened to provide more than $145 million in donations to the Clinton Foundation and the run-up to State Department approval. So really the hypocrisy of Hillary Clinton is really mind-blowing. And I guess she couldn't resist having something to say out there. But that's what I have for you guys today for Headline Hits. Like I said, it's been very busy, but it's been a wonderful tour for the Middle East, I feel, for President Trump and the administration. J.D. Vance is speaking at a memorial service, I think, for police officers today. So he's busy doing stuff as well. Trump is going to head home on Friday tomorrow. But like I said, let's see what the deals that he comes out with today, being in Abu Dhabi, because I'm sure they're going to be good. And when I say that it has been a wonderful celebration of him being there, it is just, to me, proud to be an American citizen again, with our president being so appreciated, so respected with these celebrations, and just to see the different way the cultures do celebrate our president being there and the deals being made. Because you know what, when you talk and you can negotiate and you make deals, that means there's not war. That means there's not losses of life of our men, women, children, not affecting the families. Our military and the people that are in it have suffered so much unnecessary wars, unnecessary damages and death, because people love war. Some of these warmongers love it because it's money making. So with our great president getting out there and making deals and making peace and trying to negotiate, and that these world leaders are willing to meet with him, and him being the first one to ever visit, the first president to ever visit Qatar, that's mind-boggling to me. So you mean to tell me all these years, all these presidents that we've had, they've never visited there? And you have to ask yourselves why. That's the bigger question. Get past hating or loving Trump. Look at policies that are being put in place. Look at what deals are being done for the United States of America and the citizens. Look at what these presidents and their administrations have done over the years, because the days of us being naive and just trusting the government are long over and done with, because we have seen some of the ugliness in our governments, the corruption that has been exposed in our government. And it isn't just one administration. It has been administrations over the years. And it's almost like it was a storm that started really small and just snowballed into this big monopoly of a few in power and owning everything and not caring about you and I as the individual middle class people. And those times, I think, are ending and over. And that is why a lot of them are screaming loud. They're, a lot of people, Democrats and people on the left, are supporting these terrorists and these illegals and their rights. And somebody came out yesterday, I forget who it was, and said, I want to make it clear, because the due process, these judges are always talking about these people deserve due process before we deport these illegals. And he said, you know what? Based on a judge's decision, the due process has already been served when we deport them. The judge has already said they are illegals. We have policies in place. We are allowed to deport them. And that's something he said that people are overlooking in all the noise and everything, that decisions were already made. The due process already occurred before we even deported them. It's not like we're just going out there wango tango doing things on the fly because we want to. It has already been taken care of. So that's like a little piece of information that he said is overlooked, but it therein balloons into bigger problems when these judges are saying they deserve due process, yet it's already been served. So once again, a lot to pay attention to, you guys, a lot going on even through the weekend, a lot continues. But like I said, I'm proud to be an American citizen at this time. I mean, I've always been proud, but I'm going to say I'm proud of our administration and the things they're accomplishing, because there was nothing ever like this being done. The trillions of dollars and billions of dollars that have been brought back into this country in the few months that this administration has been in effect, the amount of exposure they have found through Doge has been incredible. And mind you, this president, again, is working for free. He's donating his paycheck. Reminder that Doge did everything for free. I don't remember the other administration doing anything for the American citizens that were free. As a matter of fact, they used our money to line their pockets in an illegal and corrupt way. And I, for one, am really looking forward to justice being served, like we all are. We've been waiting a very long time for things to be exposed and justice to be served. So once again, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, you guys. And thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I will be back here on Monday, noon Eastern Standard Time on the LWN Network to bring you another set of headline hits for the week. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to say goodbye now and have a great weekend.